They didn't put the too much in the title, huh? I should put that in the description. Um, Give me 1 second. I'm still setting up. Tired. All right. So as you were ending your live stream, my son calls me. He has a friend. His fiance's brother's child is missing. She's been missing for over 5 hours now. And I tried to, I spent the last hour or so on the phone with him trying to relay messages. First time I used my gift in 6 years. So I don't know how helpful it was, but I was getting images and clues that either fit or whether they fit or not, I wasn't exactly sure. But there was one distinct clue of who was doing the communicating. And when I mentioned it to my son, he's like, "There's no fucking way you know that." I never talked to anybody about that. He had an encounter with this individual who has since passed, and there was a certain item that he waved in his face that I saw in my vision. So to me and to him, that indicated that this individual communicating to me was that person. I described his physical features to a T, never meeting this guy. I told him about the item, never hearing about it before. So these clues they were giving me, I'm hoping they work out. But that's about all I got. So she was last seen leaving her apartment with a book in her hand. And then I started getting spotty images and certain words and phrases throughout the course of talking to my son, leading them to this place and that place and this place. But all these places, the first set of places, were all in a specific area. And then it left that area abruptly and took me to another area way across town. Went from being downtown to uptown about a mile or two away. So they're about a mile or two away from the area and the initial area I was getting. So he went over there and didn't see any kind of evidence or sign of her being in those areas. But everything I described to them clicked with some area where she most likely had been at previously up until the current location. And there's no way to check out that current location without, um, you know, without going Gestapo on these people. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's where we're at right now. Oh, I just saw your notification. Positive and safe community. That's interesting. Um, Given the circumstances now, it's just ironic. You know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh, I missed you. Oh, I read that one. Okay. So yeah, that's where we're at. And so he had I had he had to end this call with me so he could call his fiance and let her know he's going back to the search party. They formed a search party. They got like about 35 people involved in the search party. I can't get into any details as what because I can't put anything public out there that is only a um, what's the word theory. Yeah, I can't say anything here live that is only a theory because that could cause issues. Um, but yeah, so they can't get back there. They know how to, or do we need a call to action? I follow a group like that on FB. I can send one post. So, yeah, it's all over Facebook. So anybody that's on Facebook that can throw something up there would do nothing but help. Okay. So if you can post something to Facebook, that would be great and muchly appreciated. Oh, I told my son, I was like, damn, I'm glad I got my new order of tobacco and tubes today because I was out as it arrived. Well, I was out of tubes anyway. My regular. And I'm like, damn, because look, in the last hour, I probably smoked a half a pack of cigarettes or close. At least 8 now. One, two, three, four, five, six. 6 cigarettes in an hour. That ashtray was empty before my son called me. 6 cigarettes in an hour. And I'm lighting up another one. Actually, seven, 7 cigarettes in an hour. Because there's one in this ashtray that is from the new batch, and Oh wait, no, that may have been a straggler from before. I don't know. Anyway, my mind is going a billion miles an hour right now, people. So if it seems like I'm babbling, I apologize. But this is close to home and personal because it deals with somebody my family knows directly. And not to mention, she's a 10-year-old autistic child with her parents on the outs. Her parents do not live together. And her mother is less than desirable. I'm not sure at the moment if there's a custody battle involved or anything, but everything I was getting, and this is the only thing I'm saying publicly, everything I was getting led to her mother in a roundabout way. So, I don't know. Welcome back, Tired. Hey, Nova. Hey, Scott. I apologize. There's no music. If you caught the title and the description, having a serious issue right here, so I wanted to go live and put it out there. If anybody has Facebook, if you have friends in the Ithaca, New York area, get on Facebook, post missing 10-year-old autistic girl. Get the information out there. My son said he'll call me back as soon as there's any more, if there's any new news or anything. Either way, he'll call me back. He better call me back. Oh, thank you, Scott. I hope so too. Now, I've never met these people, this side of his, I never met that side of his fiance's family. I don't know the family situations. All I know is the mother had issues with the daughter and separated from the father and all that. So that's the only thing I know. And that's public knowledge. So I'm not saying anything that isn't already public knowledge. I asked Angel if she was able to kind of keep an eye on her, keep her safe. I'm hoping, that's possible. Hey, Becky, you changed your name. I like that. Bex Music Official. I like that, Becky. Nice. So, yeah, pretty much at this point, I'm just waiting for my son to call me back with an update or to say she was found safe. God, if you guys were only in my head for that hour, you guys would be as freaked as I am right now. Because somebody was showing me fucking images. I'm assuming they're possible future images. If this doesn't get solved quickly, those images are going to become reality. That's my whole hypothesis on that idea. Thank you, Tired. I appreciate that. In Ithaca, New York, okay? Area code 14850 or zip code 14850. If anybody happens to have any information, if they spotted anyone who they didn't give me a. I should have asked for a physical description, but I didn't want to. I didn't want the physical description of her to taint my, uh, you know, so I didn't want anything to corrupt what I was getting as a prior, anything as a prior knowledge. I didn't want prior knowledge contaminating what I was getting. So I didn't ask. I deliberately didn't ask for a physical description. Um, but what he did say is, it's possible she's autistic. She's 10 years old. So I'd put her at about maybe 4 foot high, something like that. All right, hang on. This is my son again. Hello? This is a fucking hard one, man. You know, from someone who has lost a child, there's no greater loss than a child. No parent should ever have to bury their children. So when you hear they're lost and you have no idea what kind of situation they're in, it all kinds of shit goes on in your fucking head. Um, so him and his fiance are with the party now, the search party now, and they're checking out these areas. And I told them focus on. Oh, I said, well, keep in mind, focus on those areas, the hotel, the store. And he goes, damn, somebody mentioned the store. Well, they mentioned two stores, and one of the stores was the one I mentioned to focus on. So somebody in that group also has some sort of connection somewhere or knowledge of the situation, her situation. They either have knowledge of her situation because they were describing to him the same store I described to him. So I'm hoping with these combined clues, I'm pretty sure they'll find her safe and you know find out the true culprit of this whole situation. Um, anyway, thank you, Scott. I was tired of people calling me Bang. Oh, I feel you on that one, Becky. Feel you on that one. Any water bodies nearby? It's we went that route already. They checked out the areas that and nothing's there. Because the image I had, it was dry shorelines in the creek, but they've had so much rain, there's no dry. So I'm like, all right, hopefully that's maybe something in the future that's not set in stone yet. So there's a lot of water, bodies of water around there, but I wasn't picking up on anything specific at all about it. There were four specifics that led to an area where all those four specific clues focus on this one area. So I told my son, keep focusing on that area. That we don't, well, near where she lives, there's not anything in the immediate area. No. Um, they're much further away than she could have walked. So yeah. No, I got the feeling, I got the sense that because of the way the pattern of the visions, the way the pattern of the visions came to me, the first area seemed like first person experience where she most likely was walking around in these certain areas. And then the second set of images focused on another area across town, up down near uh, a hotel, a store, and a skate park. All the clues led to that area, which indicated to me because they were so quick to view. That indicated to me that she had to have been transported from this area. Somebody had to have picked her up in a vehicle in that general area and driven her to the other area. And I believe what I was seeing was maybe what she may have saw during the transport from one area to the other. So yeah, let's see. I came in late. Just a thought. No, no. Hey, J Mac, J. Any uh, what's the word? Anyway, whatever the word is help. Okay. Any ideas you throw out there is an idea that may lead to something. So yeah, she's 10 years old, possibly autistic. She has certain issues. And I described the feeling I was getting, and they confirmed that yes, she's a little, I said, is it possible she's autistic? Said it's possible because what I was getting was feelings of scared, lost, confused, and I kept hearing child screams, "I want my daddy. Where's my daddy?" Um, so yeah, I'm taking it as an indication that she's still with us. I don't think so. They didn't mention it. No. Yeah. Yeah. I'm familiar with that. Yep. I know a lot of autistic. Uh, I have friends who have autistic children. That's what I'm trying to say. And I kind of got that feeling that she may have some sort of, she may be on the spectrum somewhere. I told them that, and I was like, I feel like, and well, I asked her, I said, or I asked my son, is she autistic? She goes, I don't know, she might be. I was like, well, I'm feeling like she's somewhere on that spectrum. And I asked her, I was like, so for those of you who missed, for those of you who missed the beginning, she was last seen leaving her apartment with a book in her hand. And that's all they know, or that's all they're saying they know. And then that's all the information my son gave me was she was seen leaving the apartment. She was carrying a book. And just before he mentioned that, the vision of the vision of Ithaca's library popped into my head. So in that area, the police station is across the creek behind the parking lot of where the library is. That area, from the police station to a place that's called DeWitt Park and DeWitt Building, they went through DeWitt Building and there was no sign of it. But from that area, that stretch was the first area in my mind. And then it jumped from that all the way across town to this other area where 4 key areas were mentioned. So, yeah. No, I asked them about that. It's like, no, don't really have friends and stuff. She's a 10-year-old autistic girl. And she doesn't really. She pretty much. I'm assuming she lives with her father and has maybe shared custody with the mother. The mother is a drug addict. That's common knowledge. That's public knowledge. Her mother's a drug addict. And if there was any kind of feuding over the child, I think that's the connection. That's the only connection I'm feeling. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I mean, but all your suggestions are good ones. They are good ones. Unfortunately, they're already the ones we've considered. But, hey, there's quite possibly something we haven't thought of if any of you have any kind of suggestions. So, yeah. But, yeah, I've been through this before with other cases where I didn't know any of the people involved. And they turned out just about the way I had it laid out. You know what I'm saying? Some with a bad outcome, some with a good outcome. You know how that is. All right. Some here still are what kids. Okay. No. Kids. Something. Yeah. Well, there may be Latino in the bloodline, but yeah, basically, I'd say if I had to describe her, I'd say white, maybe light skin Latino. I don't know. I didn't get a physical description of her deliberately. I didn't ask for a physical description of her because I didn't want to corrupt what I was receiving. So yeah, I posted them. It's on Blue Sky that I have 2.K. Okay, and my awesome tired. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm gonna go over here and make another cigarette. I'll be right back. Yeah, it's 11 after 9 now, and she's been missing for close to 7 hours now. Um, they said she left around 3:30. So yeah, 3:30, 6 hours, nearly 6 hours now. And I told him that, all right, my first set of visions and information I was getting covers the first 2.5 hours she was missing. The first 2.5 hours took place in the first area I described to them. And then it moved from that area immediately to another area, which is way too far for her to be walking. So obviously, you can only conclude somebody picked her up in one area, took her to the other. I believe the mother has something to do with it, and that's all I'm going to say on that. That's the only hypothesis I will say. I think the mother has knowledge of it. I'm not saying she physically was involved with it, but she has knowledge of it. I'm pretty sure about that. Race don't matter. I was just no. I got you. I understand. I know why you asked. It's all good. It's all good. Um, but yeah, they're within the. They fall within like I mean they have like okay my son's fiance's brother who passed away earlier this year I think it was in a car accident. Um, he's a Latino, and I started having a vision of this Latino-looking, heavy-set guy with bushy hair, scraggly beard. And he said, I just described her brother, who I've never met in my life. He passed away earlier this year. I described him. And then I described an object that they were showing me, and that really threw him. And he remembered the situation that involved that object. So that pretty much cinched the communication was between him, was coming from him. I was receiving the messages from him, which was his fiance's past brother from earlier this year. Because he said he nearly cried the minute I mentioned that item, and he recalled the situation involving that item. So we were definitely on to something. And as soon as he hung up for me, as soon as we hung up, I lost the connection. Like I lost that connection as soon as he hung up. So it was while we were connected on the phone, I was connected with her brother, the fiance's brother. I haven't opened up in 6 years. Y'all know about my sister. Ever since my sister, I haven't really done any of this. Aside from when he asked me, when her brother passed away in a car accident, they contacted me and wanted to see if there was any nefarious activity going on with that one. And I told him that I think somebody ran him off the road. I saw in the vision, I saw two vehicles in the vision, a red truck and a white sedan. And he said, well, we ain't hear nothing about no white sedan. He had a red truck, but there was no white sedan. So I'm like, well, that's all I could. That's all I could muster at the time. It was so early. It was so early, still too early in the game to get anything real on that. He had, I think he said it was a week ago. Only a week had passed since his accident. And so I really wasn't getting much off that. But anyway. I mentioned that. They're checking on like the the process of doing that. They did contact local police, and local police did question both the parents and closer relatives and friends. But people lie, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. I think I think they say you have to wait 12 hours on a child to put out a missing persons. I can't remember the I can't remember how, but they got about 35 or so people involved in a search party that hang on, I'm getting another call. Hello? Hang on a sec. They found her, guys. All right, they found her on a playground near the learning center, which was one of the areas that was one of the main concerns in the beginning. So she has been found after nearly 6 hours. So let me change, let me update this. Ooh, all right, back to the live stream. Now I gotta wait for it to load up again. This fucking dinosaur computer, man. Uh, so I'm gonna be saving up for a new computer because there's no retrieving this one. I'm currently working on the dinosaur glorified keyboard attached to a monitor. My original laptop that got the monitor snapped off it. So that's why everything's so spotty, jittery, and slow and laggy because I'm running off this old thing. And for some reason, 3 days ago, my other laptop just started this fucking prompt on it, and me trying to fix it, I guess I made it worse, and now we're missing fucking data in order for it to boot up and blah, 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 blah. So I'm just saving up for a new laptop. Um, I found a decent deal on one at Amazon. So, in approximately 3 to 4 months, I can have a new laptop. So I'm good to go. All right, I'm good to go. All right, back to the comments. Let's see. They will tell the parent it has to be over 24 hours on a child. Anyway, that's neither here nor there right now. They found her. She's okay, at least physically. Nobody knows the actual circumstances of the last 6 hours, 6.5 hours. Um, Nobody's really talked to her yet, I guess. Well, as far as my son and his fiance goes, he says they haven't talked to her yet. So they're probably uh, anyway. Thank you, Kev. Appreciate that. Oh, good boomer. Hope she said. Oh, 5 of the hits that I got were in the area where she was found. A mural on a wall, a hotel, and there was something else he mentioned that. So where she was found on a playground in this area, there was 5 key elements that were there in that area. So where was she? I had to. She was found near a learning center on a playground, uh, near a gas station, which was near the hotel I mentioned, and on the wall there was a mural because I mentioned graffiti mural of a skateboarder, and that was one of the clues. A mural on the side of a building. So they were all those 3 specifics were in that area. So yeah. Anyway, glad they glad they found her okay, and I think somebody knew. I still think there was some shit going on. I think she was left there. To tell you the truth. Um, but there's no proving that. So it's only conjecture at this point. It's only conjecture. Damn, we're getting another storm already? Oh, that's 2 just today. Oh, I can't even remember if I had fucking supper. Did I take my medicine to have supper? Oh, I don't want to sit here and count my fucking pills to see if I. Oh, yeah, 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 I did. I did. Now I remember. I finished my lunch for dinner, and I did, yes, I did take my meds. Wonderful. Now I'm going to go roll another cigarette. About that? We can play music now. I'll stay away from the sad stuff, given the circumstances of today's um, events. Okay, let's open up some music here. I'm only going to do sound share because every time I try to do a screen share on this fucking thing, it fucks everything up. So I can only open up the program and share sound. Well, if the program will open, that is. Sorry for the lagginess, guys. I'm working with a half a fucking laptop here. Computer audio. So I got my camera in the way. Come on. Share. All right, I'm gonna skip the first two songs, the sad songs. Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess it depends on how you look at them. Whether you consider them sad or not. I mean, they could be uplifting for some, but I'll play my new rendition of "A Message for Daddy" some other time. Why is that all up on there? Oh, because it's not responding. That's why. That screen should be larger. This bottom portion should be. Ah, ah. All right, let's skip that song. Motherfucker. Ah, Zoom and Google.